Howdy, FlowChat Connector. What's happening? Sean back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. In this video, we're going to tell you exactly one thing that you can do whenever you find a wishy-washy prospect. You know what I'm talking about. Stay tuned. What's happening, Sales Ascender? FlowChat Connector family, loving you here, being here, learning more stuff about how to be a master of sales. Today, we're going to talk about a really special one. I got a great question that came in, so let's just jump right into it. Check it out. First and foremost, we're going to talk about how to deal with wishy-washy prospects. When I first started and I was getting into this place where I was like, oh man, I got this sales appointment, and I go through the conversation and I get to the end of it, the guy would say something wishy-washy like, oh, this probably is going to make sense, or maybe this makes a good fit for us, or this, that, or the next thing. And I would be so excited because I'd be like, yes, I think he's going to say yes. And I would go back to my office and I'd tell my boss, yo, this guy said yes, he's going to go forward. This is going to be amazing. What happened was I lost a lot of those deals until I started learning professional selling, going through selling systems. I didn't understand that you can actually manage wishy-washy prospects in a certain way. I'm going to give you one tip on how to do that. So let's dive in. The first thing we're going to talk about is the question I got. So Ronald asked this. He said, Sean, every time I get to the place where I ask for an order, I get answers like maybe it's a fit or something like that. How do I deal with this? And as I was speaking with Ronald, what he was telling me was it happens probably like 60% of the time in his sales calls. And I was like, oh my God, dude, this is how to deal with this. And I realized as I was helping him that everybody needs to know this. So let's dive into a little bit of a slideshow. Bam, here we go. Here's how you deal with wishy-washy prospects. First of all, what does wishy-washy mean? Wishy-washy means they may or they may not. They're on the fence. They don't know if they're going to move forward. They can't make a decision. That's what wishy-washy means. And if you have a lot of prospects that are in that place, here is the step, right? So what's the next thing? Here's an example of a bunch of wishy-washy words. This is conceivably a good idea. Likely this is going to make sense for us to move forward. Perhaps your solution's a good fit. I probably think this is going to make a little bit of sense for us, but I'm not 100% yet. Maybe this is a good solution. I don't know. I've never heard peradventure or perchance. By chance is probably the one that I hear the most. God willing, your solution's the right fit for us. By any chance, by any means, could be. You can see these. You can read them. If possible, in any way, not possibly, within the realm of possibility. So these are just a few examples of wishy-washy. There's a lot more. I'm sure that you've heard all of these things. Most people hear the words maybe, likely, perhaps, probably. Those seem to be kind of the most common. That's why they're in red. But here is what we do. The one secret to dealing with wishy-washy words. Whenever you get to that place in the sales conversation, what is it that you say? What is the thing that you need to do in order to pull that pin out of that grenade of your prospect? And the grenade I'm talking about is their grenade of you don't know if you're going to get the deal or you're not, right? So in the beginning of the sales call, before I share the secret with you, I just want to make sure that everybody has this part in their sales conversation. If you are not setting the agenda for the call early in your sales calls, please do that. And it sounds very simple. I made an analogy called game, the rules of the game. Every sales call is a game. You got to set the rules of every game, just like any professional sport that's out there. One of the things I talk about is at the end, right? So game stands for grateful. Ask me some questions. I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to ask me some questions. So GAM. And then at the end, one of two things is going to happen. We're either going to go in this direction and lock arms, or we're not, but I'm going to show you how to refer people. Does that make sense? When I get that in the beginning of the sales conversation, then I know that I've actually set the rules of the game and I can use this tactic or this technique all day. Very simple to use. So it's just two words. This is it. Which means, but you got to say it with the right tonality and the right body language. So when somebody comes at you with a wishy-washy word, like, well, this is probably a good fit, I take that wishy-washy word and I put it right in front of these two words. So if they say, this is probably going to make sense for us today, tomorrow, this week, whenever they say whatever wishy-washy, just say, well, I'm a little confused. You said probably means this. And then they're going to give you a definition of what probably means. It'll open the door so you can go down the conversation and really see what the big stumbling roadblock is. And then from there, you can work the deal if there's another person that needs to get involved, if you need to discuss budget, if you need to do something else, right? And so again, if going back to another one, like conceivably, this is a good idea. Well, conceivably, means, and then you just sit there and act dumb as a sales pro. Like, it's a great technique, it's a great tactic, and what happens is it creates massive engagement, and then your prospects are like, oh my God, like this guy's pinning me down. And then at the end of this, you said, well, hey, at the beginning of the call when we talked about this, I mentioned to you is like, hey, we can kind of go in one of two ways, right? And so when I'm hearing these words like probably makes sense, conceivably is a good idea. And that seems to me, it's kind of like on the top of the fence. So I think we should lock arms based on everything you have, the problem that I solve. I know I can bang this out all day long. I think we should move forward. And you're sitting here kind of on the fence. And to me, I would much rather you say, yes, this is a fit, and we can figure out how long it's going to take and what the pathway is. Or you tell me, hey, you know what, Sean, it's not the right time. I get it. It's totally fine. No problem. No harm, no foul. So again, you said probably a good fit, probably means, and they're going to say, yeah, well, it's not the right fit. Let them out. That's fine. Say, okay, great. What is the timeline that makes the most sense for you? Because we always got to remember that there's lots of people in our world. The world is abundant. There are hundreds and thousands of people that want to do business with you. If you don't have that mentality, that's your own head trash. Get it out of your head, right? Understand that the abundant opportunity is right in front of you, and all you have to do is sift through the people that are serious and not, right? Those who are curious and those who are serious. There's always going to be one of two groups. We're looking for those people that are serious that you can actually impact in their business. And when you do, this becomes a very, very powerful technique, which means, probably means, conceivably means, and now you understand how to use that topic. And this will get the wishy-washiness right out of your prospect, and you, my friend, will be able to close more deals. So hopefully that was helpful for you today. I think it's helpful. I use that in most all of my sales calls. Don't forget, smash that like button, feed the algorithm. We got to get more people out to hearing this. Thank you for the love button that's out there, whoever smashed that. And this is always, as always, a conversation. I want to know your thoughts. If you disagree with this strategy, please, let's talk about it, because that's interesting to me. I just love this stuff. I geek out on it. I've been geeking out on it for over 20 years now, 2 decades plus, and I'm really good at it. So like, I want you to have the knowledge that I've got so that you can crush it too. Make sure and subscribe to the channel. I love your face, and I can't wait to see you next time.